The controversial energy process known as fracking was the focus in Raleigh today. It's the start of a series of hearings that will end in Cullowhee next month.
State officials are taking public comment on the final phase for making the rules and clearing the way for the harvest of natural gas in North Carolina. News 13's Frank Crocker joins us.
And Frank, fracking is going to happen in the Tar Heel state.
Well, the governor's already signed the Energy Modernization Act, so fracking permits will be issued. But it's not clear whether natural gas companies will bother with western North Carolina.
No more!
Outside the auditorium at NC State, protesters making their stand on fracking crystal clear. While inside,
companies need to be held accountable.
Public testimony estimated at about 10 to 1 against the controversial practice of shooting water, sand, and chemicals deep underground and forcing natural gas trapped in shale to the surface. The energy industry says it's an efficient method for harvesting clean fuel. But opponents say it's a hazardous practice that damages the environment and even causes earthquakes.
And this is where you start to take ownership of your own education here.
Brevard College professor Jim Reynolds is helping with freshman orientation today. His academic focus is geology, the study of solid earth.
And the Triassic Basin is this green belt that goes up through here. But the main interest is between Sanford and Durham right now.
Dr. Reynolds shows us a geological map of North Carolina and explains the science of how our western mountains were formed over the past billion years. He says the shale, once here, has long since cooked and been squeezed out of the metamorphic rock below us.
For this, there are so many places in this country where there's abundant gas and sedimentary rocks that this has got to be on the absolute bottom of the list of places to look for natural gas.
That does not mean gas companies won't do some testing to find out for themselves. But Dr. Reynolds believes that'll cost them more than it's worth.
They're going to have to prove that there's a deposit worth exploiting here, and I just don't think it's going to be there. The geology says that the likelihood of any success in western North Carolina is pretty close to zero.
Now, as we mentioned, the fourth and final public hearing will be held in Cullowhee. It's at Western Carolina University Friday, September 12th, and that's from 5 until 9 in the evening.